So why did God put 50,070 people to death? Because they did what? They opened up the ark and did what? And they looked in it. So let's talk about this for a second. Now, first of all, if you read this, not everyone looked into it, because there were people left in Beth Shemesh that were mourning and crying when they saw 50,070 dead bodies. Have you ever, so play with me here. Here's what I think happened, and I know I'm reading between the lines. The ark of God has come back. Now, the question that you might have, that the Israelites might have at Beth Shemesh is, hey, I wonder if the 10 Commandments and the golden jar of manna and Aaron's staff that had blossomed, I wonder if they're in there, in that chest. Maybe we should check out that the Philistines didn't open that chest and take the 10 Commandments out. Don't you think we should check to see if they're in there yet? What do you think? You're all very quiet. Yeah, I think, and besides that, you know, we have not seen the 10 Commandments since Moses got them about 500 years ago. Wouldn't you be interested in seeing the 10 Commandments for yourself? Yeah, that would be amazing to look at those 10 Commandments. Now, you know, when people die that are, you know, kings and queens and famous movie stars or pastors, you've seen that they'll have their funeral at the church for days where people will pass by. They have lines of people that are passing by to give their last respect. And hundreds of thousands of people, depending on who it is, will pass by for days looking at the person that's laid out in the church. Have you ever seen that? They show them on the news and they talk about, look at the lines of people. Well, I think there was a long line to look at the 10 Commandments. In fact, it had 50,070 people in it. And they're lined up to take a look at the 10 Commandments. So they're going by. Now, I don't think they died right, boom, when they looked at it. Because think to yourself, if you're in this long line of 50,000 and the first person that looked in it drops dead, what are you doing? Stepping on their body so you can be the second one dead. I mean, at some point, you'd be like, I don't think we should go look at that, right? So I have a funny feeling the 50,070 looked at it, and then when they were all done, they're like, hey, you know what? Why am I getting this tumor or boil on me? What's, you know, and then, you know. But not all of them looked. Because you see, there were some people that must have read their Bibles. Because if you had read your Bible, you would have known not to do that. So in Numbers 4, Moses is giving instructions, and this is to the Kohathite tribal clans. The Levites are made up of 3 groups. This is one group of the Levites, and their job was to oversee the furnishings of the tabernacle. So the Lord said, see that the Kohathite tribal clans are not destroyed from among the Levites, because they're going to have a special role of caring for the furnishings when they get moved, so that they may live and not die when they come near the most holy things. Do this for them. Aaron and his sons are to go into the sanctuary and assign to each man his work and what he is to carry when they were going to move the tabernacle. But the Kohathites must not go in to look at the holy things, even for a moment, or they will die. So there were some people in Beth Shemesh that knew, wait a second, I think Moses warned about looking at the holy things, even for a second, even for a moment, or you will die. We're not doing it. We're not doing it. So Let's come back to the ark for a second, because I want to share with you what the error they made, which is they removed the atonement cover, or what's called the mercy seat, from the top of the ark.